Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking NHL action headed to Colorado, where the Avalanche are hosting the Wild.
It's Super Bowl week, and we've got a super code for you. The code is SUPER for 20% off the entire website at picksandparlays.net.
Avalanche big favorites in this one, minus 175. The total is 5.5 goals. We've got Scott Rickenbach joining us, who was the number one capper for hockey on the website at picksandparlays.net. So you might want to listen to what he has to say. Scott, how you feeling about this Wild and Avalanche matchup?
Well, on the one hand, it's a bit of a tough call because of the injury situation here. Nathan MacKinnon, of course, the star player for the Avs, got hurt in the last game, lower body injury, and they're a little uncertain as to the good news is it sounds like it's not going to be that significant, but at the same time, I do expect he'll probably miss this game. But I'm still looking at the Avs here. Now, of course, the key to value in money line sports and surviving long term is not laying big prices, in my opinion. I don't do that much at all. So, what I'm taking a look at here is the puck line, but let me explain the reasoning behind it. For one thing, the Avs just lost at Minnesota, and now they're playing them in Colorado. So, they get a chance at right back revenge here. And this season, Colorado is 3-0 when coming off a loss, and two of those wins came by a combined score of 15-3. So when they're off a loss, they tend to be angry, they tend to respond. And even though they do have some injury issues, because there's more than just MacKinnon that's out right now, this is still a very talented Colorado team. And what people don't realize too, you hear a lot about their star players, and they are dangerous and how many goals they can put up on you in a hurry. But the thing is, defensively, prior to that loss over the preceding 8 games, Colorado had allowed an average of just 1.9 goals per game. So they can frustrate the opponent as well. And in this case, they're catching Minnesota playing their first road game in about 2 weeks. So I don't expect this to go well for the Wild. And I like the fact that Colorado has responded off a loss this season. And also, if MacKinnon misses, keep in mind, it's kind of like in football. When a star wide receiver goes out, then other guys step up in his place. The thing is, here, you're going to see some other guys really step up if MacKinnon indeed does miss, which I'm sure he'll miss at least one game. So I expect him to be out for this game. And I look for Colorado, though, to respond. You'll see other guys step up, want to fill the role when the star player is missing. And again, Colorado's recent history this year, as well as last year, how they responded off a loss. And again, this is a revenge situation. They beat the Wild in the first meeting in Minnesota before that OT loss. They beat them 5-1, I think was the final. They thrashed them pretty good, and they're capable of doing that again here, even if MacKinnon misses. So where the value is in a game like this, in my opinion, lay the 1.5 goals. Yes, it means Colorado has to win by 2 or more, but they've had a lot of big wins this season, and it gets you a plus 145 return on your money. Now, that is an estimated line because there is so much uncertainty with this line right now with the MacKinnon injury situation. But again, it should be in that ballpark, and it's a good value spot, a good place to play Colorado, in my opinion, on the puck line.
And a lot of times the totals kind of go hand in hand with a puck line bet, or sometimes you don't want to play it just because you might be rooting against yourself. But do you have any leanings on a total here?
In this case, it's a really tough one because I could see Colorado winning this game 4-1, 4-2, something like that, which puts you, of course, right in that 5 or 6 range. So for me, it's a tough one to call. I would say that with the last one going over the total, I'm looking for Colorado will play really hard here coming off that loss, and they'll put some frustration on the Wild in terms of when Minnesota's in the offensive zone. So I would have to play the under here, but that's just a very, very slight lean because, again, it wouldn't surprise me to see some of Colorado's other star players step up with MacKinnon out.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our hockey talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Scott Rickenbach. As always, Scott, thanks for joining us.